Welcome back to another week of the Over the Top podcast. Thank you for joining us for another Over the Top Tuesday. I'm Brandon.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Juan.
They almost forgot their names, but they got it. That's all right.
Chris
as long as they remembered it, that's all that matters.
Take one pot off and you forget.
Florida's a nice place, man.
I thought we were going in order, you know? But there's really no order.
How we living, guys? How's everybody's week?
No complaints here.
Everything good?
Yeah,
How was Florida? Florida was good. Was it worth missing a podcast?
Definitely was worth it.
That's fair.
Got some good
Even
weather.
though we had some nice weather, too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Not as nice as Florida, though. Do you have
Right,
beaches? You guys have beaches?
Jones.
I mean, that's like
Coney
that's like,
Island.
That's like two hours.
Oh.
That's like 2 hours. But I mean, does it compare to Miami Beach?
No. Not at all.
Not much though.
So you was on the strip. You was on the strip.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
on
you was
shit.
okay. You was
All
on.
right, let's not give away too much now.
Had the legs out. That's why they came in here with the legs out today.
It's a soccer podcast. Come on.
You're right. You're right. Well, Miami FC, it all ties in.
That is true.
You feel me? I could link it to anything. We're going to stay on you. But now I'm playing. What's up, y'all? Let's get into this Champions League recap for last week. We had an upset that I wasn't expecting, to be honest. I don't respect Manchester City in the Champions League. So I didn't expect a 3-0.
Wait, so you're consider that an upset though?
Yeah, because I just said I don't respect them in the Champions League. I don't respect them.
But I wouldn't really consider that an upset. They're the best team in the world technically.
But
on paper.
to beat Bayern,
To some people.
to beat Bayern 3-0 though.
Yeah, you were
That's
expecting
kinda
that. Yeah, they
surprising.
cleaned them up.
That's an unexpected
surprising.
result, but I wouldn't consider it an upset. I could
consider it
have
an
seen.
Unexpected. I said Manchester City would win 3-0.
Did you?
Let's go. Wait.
Yo, we literally we record these. We can just go back
Yeah.
and see that you didn't say that.
I'll have to look back at the last pod. You know.
You know what? You know how to edit? We'll
I'm pretty sure you guys didn't even do a Champions League recap last week.
we'll edit in whatever.
No, but in all seriousness, that was crazy. I didn't see that result coming.
No, yeah, shout out to them. Yo, Haaland, that boy's on
Wait,
pace.
did he tie Mo Salah's record already?
32.
32, right?
32.
Yeah.
Premier League goals.
Only Alan Shearer is above him now. Oh, and someone else. Alan Shearer and another
Andy
German.
Cole.
Andy
Yeah.
Cole.
But they also played longer Premier League. That's when the Premier League had.
With all these
Is it
caveats,
more
bro.
games?
With all these caveats.
I think that's
bro.
when the Premier League had 22 teams instead of 20.
And I think it was 38 games.
We're at 38 games right now,
Oh,
so
so it's
it might have
42.
been
42, I
42
think.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably got that record in the bag.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, but no.
Two
shot.
more,
He needs
three
two
more goals for the rest of
Yeah,
the season.
3 more goals. Yeah.
That's a game for him.
Yeah.
That's a half for him. Then he's
That's-
get taken out in first half after having a hat trick. Like
So
this guy's sick.
is it too early to say that Haaland is the most dominant
Yes.
center forward ever?
Absolutely,
Ever?
he's dominated for a season.
What do you mean ever? It's the first season ever in the Prem, and he's literally about to break the scoring record for in less games. You know what I mean? So it's just like
You got to give me more
You
than a
gotta
season.
look at the goals that he's scoring, the side that he's in. I mean,
God forbid he breaks his leg next year and just retires. Yes, but if he keeps playing, you got to give me
Yeah.
more. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, realistically, the only 2 teams that I see him playing for is Manchester City and
Manchester
Real
United.
Madrid.
Oh,
And
right.
Real Madrid.
No, and he's
Manchester United can stick with Woo, you know.
I'm so bad at soccer. I don't like that guy.
and he's definitely guaranteed goals in Manchester City's team.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
And
whoever last year they didn't even play with the center forward,
And
and I'm
they
pretty sure
still won the
Foden
league.
still scored.
Philly. It's just the way they play just lends itself to a beer goal.
But if you just look
For
at
lack
his
of a
goals,
better term.
his goals per game, even when he was at Dortmund, was ridiculous. And now he's
It was a
doing
farm
this.
league. Nobody cares.
yeah. No, he
All
Not
right,
a
but he's
former
doing that.
league,
He's
but
doing that in the
No,
Prem.
I'm not saying it's insignificant, but we're only Haaland because he's doing it.
All right, so you want him to go Nottingham Forest and do the same thing?
No,
to be able to prove himself.
No, he's proving himself now.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is nobody cared last year because he was a Dortmund.
I mean, we still cared,
Yeah.
but
Nobody.
it
everybody,
wasn't.
everybody wanted to know. where
Everybody's
he
like,
should go.
damn,
We want
can he
to
do
know.
it in the league that we care about?
yes,
So no, we
yes.
didn't care.
Now we know the answers.
We were intrigued.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's killing it. The Premier League is a farm league for him. That's just scrimmage, Sunday league scrimmage. I'm about to go out here and score and
I
come
still think it
podcast
has
with
to
my
do with the
guys.
side that he's in, why he's scoring so many goals.
I think if he
he's
was
a
on
goal
United,
scorer,
You need
but
someone
we would still
passionate
suck,
ball.
but he'd be killing it.
But
it's just set up for him.
Yeah, no, I mean De Bruyne, I'd have maybe 6 goals in this league if I was playing with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's the service he puts in, and the forward that Haaland is just amazing. It's not fair. We should ban it.
But will he be able to maintain this goal scoring record for multiple years to come? I guess that's the big.
That's
question
what I want to know.
now.
If he does this 3 more years in a row,
yeah.
most dominant Premier League forward that I've ever seen in my life.
I can't see anybody in the Prem scoring as much goals as Haaland for the next 5 years.
Rashford's around, baby.
That's true.
But does United have the service that
not yet.
Manchester City would have to provide him with those goals? And
not yet.
Rashford's a different type of goal scorer. Haaland you just
is
put the ball in the
out.
box and he's gonna score.
Gonna find it, yeah.
Like
Rashford's not that type of scorer. He's more like create for himself, cutting from the wing and then score like that. You know,
saying he's saucier. I feel you.
Yeah, yeah. He's a more skillful player.
Different type of goals.
Yeah, different type of goal scorer. But Haaland is just a pure goal scorer. You put him in front of the net, he's like 6'3". He's a monster in the air. Like he got
to be taller than that.
He might be 6'5".
He's babying center forwards. You know, I mean center backs. You know what I mean? Like literally babying
that
them.
too.
Right.
But
he's you see him as like a center forward who's gonna go out and get his own bucket. Like if he's not on the team that's like providing that service for him, do you think he could really create his own goals?
I do.
In the same way like a Rashford could or an Mbappe.
I mean, he does it for Norway.
Not in the same way. But I think
in Norway, does he have the service that he has Odegaard, but does he have the service that he has at Manchester City? No.
I've been watching much of his Norway tape, so I can't really speak to that. I'm really asking.
If Norway makes it to they're probably going to make it because 48 teams now, but even if they make it to far in the Euro Cup, like that shows a lot. Like they weren't doing Norway wasn't doing anything before Haaland. You know what I mean? I mean, now they have Odegaard too, and he's getting older, so those are two very, very high caliber players, but I think he's.
If you had to pick a center forward, would you rather have Harry Kane or Haaland in your starting lineup?
Haaland.
I'm sorry, but there's.
I'm gonna
laugh at
that with the response.
All right, that's fair.
Haaland just.
Harry Kane can create a bucket much better than Haaland can, but yeah,
I'm going Haaland.
I don't know. How many goals does Harry Kane have? How many more goals does Haaland have than Kane right now? I don't think it's that outrageous.
Oh, so you think if Harry Kane was playing for Manchester City right now, he would have like
I think he could
plus 7 goals
doing the same
right
numbers that Haaland is doing. Yeah, I do.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
That is outlandish.
Is Haaland taking penalties? Because Kane takes every penalty. You know that.
Haaland does, but I think some other players also.
Is he? Is he like the designated if everybody's on the field, Haaland is the one that steps up?
I mean, I've seen.
Is it?
Gundogan,
I don't know.
I've seen.
Gundogan,
take a couple. I mean, I've seen De Bruyne even take him. So I think they just kind of like it's just rotate. Like one. Yeah, it's one of those squads that, like several different people could take a PK. You know.
Harry has 23 goals this season.
Which is
23.
And nobody's talking about it, but that's an excellent season.
That's what I'm
saying.
Yeah, but when I'm blowing you out of the water with my 32 record-breaking goals, nobody cares. Harold.
I mean,
and when they don't mean anything.
No, well that and also
scoring like hat tricks against Bournemouth, you know.
But the thing too, I think we get bored with consistency. Like we always say, like, oh, be great and be consistent, and then we get bored with it. We're like, oh, well, that's what you do. Like, it's not special anymore. Like, no, I'm still killing it, but, like, you're just used to it now. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people suffer from that, like, in a lot of sports.
And does Haaland really score, like, crazy goals? You think back when, like, Luis Suarez was scoring the hat tricks against Norwich. And the type of
he's just a different type of forward. I mean, like, Haaland's more of a return to, like, the old, big, strong center forward. Where like the last couple of years in the Premier League, you've seen like Aguero, like the Aguero types, kind of
the quick shifties.
Yeah,
but he's bringing it back. He's just like, yo, I'm bigger than you, I'm faster than you. He played a great ball in.
Yeah.
Some bully ball with a lot more technique than some of those have passed.
No, absolutely. Like we can't like say he's not like a big lumbering.
So watching Man City, do you think they're better with Haaland in the team, or do you think they play more like fluid with him out of the team? I guess that's what people are saying now is like, yeah, Haaland could get you a goal, but it kind of ruins and disrupts the whole
I think
lineup.
that take is because people got to
find
something.
I
think it's something to talk.
I was just about to say people need something to talk about.
That's like
you nitpicking.
Oh, he only scored 4 today?
Wow. So they're just gonna feed the ball into him all the time? Yes. And he scored like what?
No, of course. I mean, you're throwing in a guy who can get
and
you
even
30 goals.
if you're talking about like they were playing better, well, they were missing the goals last year. So what do you want? The goals or the style?
The cuteness.
You don't get points
play.
for the style.
It looks nice.
And Manchester City's bringing it back to the Champions League. Their whole thing in the Champions League was, did they have the goal scorer who'd get you the goals in the Champions League? Aguero didn't really excel in the Champions League for them. And
I really hope they lose. I don't want them to win.
Me
the
too. I'm a hater. They can't win the Champions League. That'll validate them as a club. They can win the
Premier League again, but not the Champions League.
Yeah, that'll validate them as a club to me, and that's not a good thing.
So obviously we know like Haaland's been killing it, but there's a player on Manchester City that's been criticized for a while based off his price tag, and I think he's been performing like really, really good as of late, and that's Jack Grealish. I think
Jackie boy.
I think he's really the last since like the World Cup break. I think that he's really been performing like at a very high level. And what do you guys' take on Jack Grealish? Do you guys think that price tag was worth it, or do you guys think like, oh, we haven't seen enough yet?
I don't think the way he plays looks good enough to like people are just like, I'm not entertained.
But Haaland doesn't play good.
No, but it's different. Like you're not entertained enough by it.
I'm a fan of Jack Grealish. I from his Villa days.
He's like a scrappy.
He's a slow-footed winger who knows how to get by people. And I relate to
knows
that
how to draw a foul.
Yeah,
I'll give him
His
that.
Body
He's got
so
some big
well.
calves.
I think he's now realizing that I'm now adapting in this new environment, this new team, and now he's really starting to excel in Pep's side.
Yeah,
I just don't think he looks like the price tag. That's why everybody's like, is he worth it? I don't know.
It depends who you talk to,
I mean, when they bought him, he was also like 25, so he's supposed to be just entering his prime, had loads of Premier League experience, whatever. But I'm not his biggest fan, but I will say he has been putting in the performances lately, which is good to see. I still prefer Amares on the wing over him, but
really,
no, he's been doing well.
He's been taking a lot of minutes away from Foden because Foden was getting those minutes at the beginning of the season,
right?
And now Foden, I don't remember the last time he really.
But Foden's been like flowing in and out of injury.
Jack Grealish was doing the defensive work a lot more. You could see him tracking back from the wing.
That's fair.
And he's he's really putting in the effort on both sides. So
I mean, you have to for Pep. Like you don't play if you don't put in that shift. So
that's fair. Yeah.
So
good on Grealish. So anyone think Bayern's coming back at home? After Sané got his lip bust up by Mane. In the squad fights, have you guys have any?
Out of all players, I did not expect Mane to be doing that.
Really?
Sané must have really said some shit that.
No, he said something racial. He called him a black shit, apparently. If I'm not mistaken, that's the report that I saw. He got punched in his
Sané
leg.
not half black?
That's where
you black as shit.
That's where it gets like, But he thumped him in his face.
Jesus.
But he apologized, and it's Mane.
Changing room bust up. It happened. You move on. But
I did see you sneak.
Kind of what happened with Draymond Green and Jordan Poole.
No. Draymond Green tried to kill that man. Draymond Green tried to kill him. But I've never had a fight with teammates.
No, you never.
Any fight with teammates has been with another team. We've never fought in
each
practice.
other. Gotcha.
The one time we would like. Okay, there's one. There was a kid trying out for the team, and he was like coming for like a week or two. Like it was like the second week he was trying out, and he was just like trying to foul people. It was getting crazy. And at one point, like he tried to fight, like to score up with one person, and we all like surrounded him, like, yo, son, like, do you realize, like,
you know where you are right now?
Yeah, like you realize you're not about to get like a fair one right now. Like, we'll jump like you crazy. That was one. That was the only one where it was like an inter thing. Even then, it was the team versus some random person. And then was there any other? I mean, like we do like birthday hits. Like we'll chase you around the field. Like everyone's birthday, you get chased around the field and like birthday hits and like
punches on your arm for the amount of times that
everywhere. You literally get jumped for a little bit.
You punches, right?
They hold you. Yeah.
I remember that.
And then wedgies and everything, but nothing serious. Yeah, I've never actually had a fight.
Yeah, we should do that to Kendini when he comes back.
In here.
For not being the cameraman today.
Have you ever had any fights with teammates?
I've had any fights, but I've definitely had some like training ground bust ups where it's like really hard tackle that was unwarranted, and I got in the dude's face, who was much bigger than me, but still, everything like that where it's like it's all tough on the field, but then when it's over, it's just a heat of the moment type situation where you acknowledge it happened and you just move on. Otherwise, it just ruins the whole atmosphere. But intense training sessions during college, like it
could boil over every now and then, right?
Sure. Especially when you're the new kid on the block freshman year, trying to make a name for yourself, and
but I'm sure they respected that you like kind of bite back as a freshman instead of just laying down and taking it.
Yeah.
I might be crazy in this sense, but like I've never gotten a hard tackle and like gotten tight about it.
You weren't a winger.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're right here with him.
Cause I played in high school. Like I've gotten some like you blatantly just shouldn't, but I'm just like good tackle. Like even last week, like I'm dribbling down the line and this kid slides. And he got the ball, but like he took me out, and the ref was like, I'm like chill. Like he got the ball. Like everything's all right. It's our throw. Like don't. I don't. I respect a hard tackle. I'm like good shit. I did the same thing. Like I like that. Like I respect it. Go in there, bum buck that.
Nah, I always thought of it as like, that's what you need to do in order to get past me or to stop me. You got to foul me like that. Okay.
As a winger, I was don't tackle me at practice. Don't do that. Don't kick me, please.
Don't kick me. In practice, that's okay. So I've also
issue that's not good because sometimes I feel like it got to that point, and then once the games came around, I almost wasn't ready for game speed at times. Yeah. Of like, oh no, this person's not gonna hold back.
That's always what they would say after those like training grounds.
Yeah, you want to tackle how you play.
Like what do you think the opponent's gonna do if you can't handle this and shit like that?
All right, so
I got it.
So you just go and injure players.
I've never really been on a team where like the tackles in practice got like, all right, chill. Like I don't know. I guess because we were like really cool. Like you're not trying to hurt. It's just right. You know what I'm saying. But we also like to your point where you said like, you have to be ready for the training ground. We did play a game that was like very aggressive. Like you had to be like barefoot, like we like took our cleats off and stuff and played on the turf, but like it's called a cleanup game and it's literally just like kill the carrier but like soccer version. So like you're dribbling and everyone is literally just trying to foul you. It's not getting the ball. It's just fouling you. Like slide tackle is just like.
But without studs, it's different.
Yeah.
Playing that with studs on.
No, but you learn how to like kind of eat a tackle a little bit, like stay on your feet. And, you know, like it trains you up in that way to where like because we played it for a long time. No, but like we found it to be fun, but we started very early too. When you're young, doing stupid shit like 6-7 years old, and then you get older, and then it's like like this kind of helps with travel. So like we didn't do it as often at like 16. Now like you have little injuries and stuff that have been common or whatever, but like we played it for a while. I genuinely do believe it like went a long way in us being able to like play up or play in harder leagues or whatever, like taking tackles and shit and not being too like, oh my god, they're trying to kill us. Gotcha. It was usually the other way around, like damn ref, like they tackling kind of hard, and it's like I got the ball, my G. Like.
What about you, Juan? Any training ground bust ups? Any fights with teammates?
Thump a boy in his face one time.
I mean, not really. I don't think
literal blows.
Nah.
Right? I feel like that's really rare in practice.
I mean, I've gotten into people's faces before.
That's different. That's just like, that happens with everybody. Don't disrespect me. We can get there, but like literal blows, like how often is it getting there on the team?
No, I'm not like swinging at them. Yeah. I've never.
You'd have to say something outrageous for me to like genuinely swing on you as a teammate. I don't know. I take that teammate thing very seriously.
Yeah, but ultimately, like, what do you guys think is going on with Bayern? Because all right, so the last 4 games, so they lost in the quarterfinals of the cup game. The DFB Pokal Cup, I think is that the main?
That's
the
name
of the FA Cup.
FA Cup,
that's the version of FA Cup. So they lost that, so they're out of that.
Mm-hmm.
They recently yesterday they tied against Hoffenheim. So now Dortmund and them are tied in points. And they just lost 3-0 to Manchester City.
Of course, we know Bayern just got a new manager. Sometimes that gives you a little bump, but I feel like Tuchel's like a big coach, so he's probably trying to bump.
But what was their reasoning for getting a new manager when they were having a fine season? Like, what was their reasoning? Like, I don't understand why they had a manager change like right before a huge game against Manchester City.
Well, it's Bayern. Bayern winning the league is not enough. So if you win, like you get sacked for winning the league at Bayern. The same thing with Juventus.
Yeah, but what did Nagelsmann do that like Bayern didn't have confidence in? Like
they also probably wanted to snap up.
Well,
They wanted Tuchel.
Yeah, before Tuchel. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just get him now while we can, instead of saying like, oh, I wish.
And I'm sure it was something like internally they saw with him.
I think that's horrible club management, honestly.
What if Chelsea spun the block and now he's off the market and directly rivaling you now in Champions League?
So you thought Chelsea was going to bring Tuchel back in the same
year? They probably talked to Tuchel and he said he was willing to take it.
I mean, they probably should have, to be honest.
Kind of did that. I don't know. Just the fact that Frank is there is kind of crazy.
Frankie boy. Frankie. Shout out
to
Frank,
I mean, I still think Tuchel's a good manager, and I think it might take a little time for him to get his ideas across.
Yeah. But Bayern, I think, will give him time, especially the fact that he joined in their current situation. Mm-hmm. He at least gets another year and a transfer window to himself to really.
I think he gets at least a year. Definitely, I agree with that. Yeah, at the least. You can't bring him in now.
Bayern doesn't even have like a real. I mean, shout out to Choupo-Moting, but they don't even have like a real center forward right now. You know, that's their guy.
Muller, but like he's always
he's
played
not
as a compliment.
Putting like Mueller or Gnabry at center forward, like
Serge.
Yeah, Bayern season looks very different. I think even if Lewandowski sticks around for one more year, but
how old is he?
That's probably easy to say.
Their demise needs to happen. Juventus fell in Serie A. It's time for Bayern to fall in the German league.
They're not going to fall.
Even if they lose the league this year by like 1 point or goal difference, they'll probably just buy Dortmund's best player this summer. They'll probably buy Jude Bellingham.
They have like a really good formula there. Like, yo, Bayern's coming up. Let's buy that guy that's making him come up, and then go back next year and buy his friend.
Yeah.
I was really interested in the Man City Bayern game. How Man City went with the 3-back, and they're usually when teams play with a 3-back, they have 2 like wing backs.
Yeah, that like,
and they don't. It's they just. I mean, John Stones kind of played in a defensive center mid role.
Yeah, and he did really well.
He's been killing that recently.
And I thought that like he did really, really well with him and Rodri, like that pairing. I guess they mostly like lean back, like stay towards like the defensive side, and then just like have like 4 or 5 players that mostly like focused on like attacking. I thought the formation worked really, really well against Bayern for them. So
yeah. And Ake's also been playing really well.
Ake, yeah. And Akanji, too. Like, Laporte. I don't remember the last time Laporte played for Manchester City.
Ruben Diaz is like...
And he's not hurt.
Nah. But that's...
So, when you're rolling...
when you're not losing.
Don't change. It's not work.
Yeah, he'll end up on Barca this summer.
No, but Ruben Diaz was a great signing, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
He's just a rock.
Yeah. Shout out to Benfica. They really know how to... turn a profit.
Yeah. That's facts. Remember what they did to Liverpool, selling them Darwin for $100 million.
Up to $100 million.
Yeah,
that's a wild tag for that guy.
You'll see. You'll all see.
All right, other big Champions League result. I think we all saw this one coming. Real Madrid beating down on Chelsea.
What?
2-0 win at Stamford Bridge, right? Correct?
No,
it was at home. Oh, okay.
Somebody didn't watch the game.
I did, but all the stadiums look the same to me at this
point.
Somebody doesn't
Madrid played at home. Yeah, pretty much. Chelsea started off kind of strong at the beginning. I thought that they might get. They had a couple.
Early on, João Felix had a good chance.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I never felt like Madrid was at threat. Like, I didn't really think like João Felix is not the type of player that's gonna go against Madrid and score like 2-3 goals. In your heart. And near Sterling, so I wasn't really worried.
Damn, Juan.
You shouldn't be.
Speaking of Madrid, that jersey is one of my favorite eras.
Yeah, I love the purple.
The purple. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. That was like
I'm surprised it still fits me.
Yeah, that's like the Wesley Sneijder, Iron Robin time, Ruben Nistelrooy.
Kaká.
Nah, that was right before Kaká pulled up. Yeah.
What? Kaká was Siemens?
Huh?
So do you think Chelsea has any shot at winning the tie? I mean, there's no away goal rule anymore, so all they really need is 2 goals to make it.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're really not out of the tie yet. There's no low probability.
Really quick, we didn't do next leg for Bayern City predictions. Do we have any at all, or we think it's just? I don't think it's outrageous that they scored 4 goals at home.
I do.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but we've seen crazier shit.
Against Manchester City? No, I don't think it's happening. I'm gonna guess a 5-0 aggregate result.
Damn.
Yeah, I think they get embarrassed.
What's your guess?
I'm gonna say like next game, Man City's gonna win like 3-1 because the game's gonna be very open from the beginning because Bayern's gonna have to attack and score. So if they don't get an early goal, then the game's gonna open up.
It could be very high scoring, but I think maybe 2-1. 2-1 City.
2-1 City. Yeah.
I just want to see that it'd be Madrid City in the next round, right?
Oh, yeah,
man, that's gonna be good.
We're gonna get a Madrid-Napoli final or a Madrid-Milan final.
Well, Napoli, not too close. I don't know. Napoli lost their first game.
Yeah.
Has there been a Champions League final that's just been a blowout? Not that I could think of in recent history. It's always usually like a close game.
We're definitely forgetting some.
Liverpool, Real Madrid that in 2018, that wasn't really close.
Was it 4-1 or something?
I think it was 4-1.
4-1 or 3-1.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like a 4-0, like a 4-goal win in the Champions League final. I don't know, but
I mean, 3 goals is already enough.
Yeah.
In the final. Like,
I don't know. You think it's gonna happen this year?
The only thing I'll give Italian teams is like they usually know how to defend.
But they haven't won against Mourinho and Inter's team. That was the last time
Italians.
Yeah, Mourinho's a great coach, man.
He is. Last time United won something. Oh,
you gotta relax.
Yeah,
I know you weren't here for the podcast when I came in here when we won, and I was very in a celebratory mood. But
I just don't want to watch like another Tottenham Chelsea final. I feel like that was like the worst final ever.
Oh, that was a City.
Oh, City Chelsea. My bad.
Yeah,
City, Chelsea,
Liverpool Tottenham. Yeah, the English finals were the best to watch. We're at the best watches.
And I feel like if Inter makes it to the final, oh my God, that's gonna be a boring ass.
So damn.
They'll probably win it too on
Italian
penalties.
team in the finals.
I would love that just for the game, just for just switch it up a bit. Tired of seeing Madrid win.
Change the script.
But Madrid will still win if it's like against Napoli.
I think Napoli is one of the best teams in Europe this year. Like they really have the confidence to go against anybody, and with the mentality that we're gonna win.
Is Osimhen back for the next game? Because the next games are this week.
Yeah,
they're not the same team without him.
No, definitely not. No. Definitely not. He's gonna go for some serious money this. Hopefully not this summer, but.
No, he'll go this summer.
Depends who comes calling.
United's gonna come knocking for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll see.
Just one point on Real Madrid. I want to give congratulations to Carlo Ancelotti for having the most Champions League wins all time as a manager, which is pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
He's
a legend.
I don't know if he flies under the radar in like best managers ever conversations, but he has to be there at this point. He's won the league in every country he's coached at.
Fair.
And he's coached in all 5 major leagues, which a lot of managers can't say. And he's won
a lot
Champions
of players can't say that they played in it.
Huh?
A lot of players can't say they played in all 5 leagues.
Yeah, so. And he's won Champions Leagues with how many different clubs? Maybe just Milan and Madrid, but
was it 2 or 3?
Still.
Yeah.
2?
I think he has like 3 with Madrid and 2 or 3 with Milan. Not sure.
It's a winning coach.
And he's so.
That is a winning coach.
Now he's going to take up an international role, probably. He's been linked with the Brazil national team. Would love if, Italy get him. But.
He should take over, the Jamaican national team.
Italy.
They got to focus on making it to the World Cup first.
Give yourself a challenge.
How old is Ancelotti?
You've done it all already, bro. Really,
upper 60s, right? How old is Ancelotti? Anybody know?
Old enough to retire and just enjoy his money, to be honest.
He's 63.
63. Okay, he's got a lot of spunk left.
You know what's crazy, though?
I would
he was
coach my grandkids.
At Everton before he went back to Madrid. How did Everton get Carlo Ancelotti to manage them?
Money.
That's impressive.
Talks,
Money, yeah, man.
But the fact that they called him up in the middle of Everton season, they're like, okay, will you come back? And he was just like, he probably didn't even tell Everton he was leaving. He just didn't show up for work on Monday.
He arrived in Spain. He's like, hey, I'm not coming back.
Didn't even put a 2-week notice. It was like, all right.
He was probably
immediately resigned.
You ever seen Harlem Nights?
He probably did it on the plane.
You ever seen Harlem Nights, anybody?
No.
Oh, damn. There's a scene where this guy, he has a mistress, and basically, he's just leaves from spending time with her, and he just He sits down. He picks up the phone. He just calls his wife. He's like, "Yeah, Barbara. Yeah, I ain't never coming home no more. All right, bye." Hangs up the phone. He's like, and then, that's exactly what that reminded me of. Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not coming back. All right, all right, cool."
Oh man, good for him. Yeah,
one of the greatest managers ever, though.
For sure.
So
do you give him GOAT?
As managers,
GOAT?
That's like the greatest.
No,
not goated. Who's your GOATs?
Are you talking about like
managers? Just give me GOAT.
The amount of time
just
you
give
manage.
me GOAT.
What is
performance wise?
Give me GOAT.
For the amount of times, like they
whatever makes
the amount of
somebody
years that they
GOAT
were
manager
coach,
to want.
Zidane is the
give
GOAT.
me that.
Zidane has the best like win performance rate, like wins per season. Like,
who's yours? Don't say Klopp.
No.
I mean, Pep is definitely.
I
up
think
there.
of influence, so I'm leaning towards maybe a little biased because I'm Johan Cruyff for the amount of.
I like that pick. Everyone is his son.
Everything that has came from
everyone
him,
is his son.
I put him up there.
That's a great pick. Yeah. Who's yours?
But Cruyff disciple has to be Pep.
Yeah, that's who I was.
Pep literally changed soccer. When we started playing soccer, everyone was playing a 4-4-2.
Yep.
The first team you played with a 4-3-3, it was like, how is there so many people on this field? That's what it felt like.
And now you see so many crazy different formations.
Yeah.
Like, he really revolutionized
soccer. He's had like all the good teams everywhere he's went, but everywhere he's went, he's dominated. He came to the Premier League, and everyone, the Premier League, it's the best league, whatever. And then he scored 100 points.
He has
100-point season.
The record there.
Like, how many leagues has he won since he's gotten there? Like, I don't know. Everywhere he's been, it's been successful. So
I wanted to pay homage to Cruyff, but yeah, it was between Cruyff or Pep.
Yeah, I like that pick though. I might go with Cruyff just because like there is no whoever is your favorite without him.
Without him, yeah.
That's fair.
I'm very partial to Alex Ferguson too, but I can't give him.
He's
GOAT.
in the conversation, but he's not.
I can't give him GOAT. I can't give him GOAT. I'll give him greatest. I was gonna say maybe greatest Premier League manager ever.
British manager.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's
greatest
had that
Premier
longevity
League
in like the same place.
He's like LeBron.
Even
like I'm great forever.
Yeah. But it's interesting because a lot of players, when they talk about Ferguson, they talk more about like his man management style and motivational.
Yeah. But I think that's
most
a
of them don't really bring up his
it.
Tactical prowess or things like that.
I think that's a huge part of it though, because look at the teams he's won with. It's like, were my tactics gonna win here, or was me managing this person the way he needed to be managed to get the absolute best out of him?
That's fair, but that kind of makes me wonder
maximizing potential is a very big.
He could have done it in different places. Whereas, like, obviously, he won 2 Champions Leagues. Over the span over a lot.
I think we have a Club World Cup too.
Places like different
countries.
nations.
Where like he started in Scotland, he was successful there, and then United.
Whole, like, what made him so great was his man management. Don't you think there would be like a real language barrier in order for him to be great in other countries? Like, it may not translate as well.
That's a good point, because like you got players like Tevez that refused to learn English, and they weren't
gonna adapt.
But at the same time, how well was he communicating with Ji-Sung Park when he came?
What are you talking about, bro? Best friends. They had wine on Sundays, all that. Don't do that.
Ji-Sung Park would do anything for him.
Park was he'll run through a wall for Park was my guy. Shout out to Ji-Sung. I know you're watching, bro. Shout out to you. Yo, imagine. He just come and say, yo, I did be watching. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, but United might have some issues at the back right now if.
Oh man, bro, Lissandro. I think it's his 4th metatarsal or something like that was fractured. I believe.
Yeah.
4th, something like that.
Well,
I mean, you're I don't know.
A metatarsal, so one of the
something in his foot,
longer bones in your foot, right?
All right, cool.
But
is that like how long are we thinking?
I mean, the thing when it comes to soccer is like a bone injury is better than a soft tissue injury.
Okay.
Like bones heal. It's honestly it's better to break your leg than tear your ACL when it comes to soccer.
Shout out to Luke Shaw.
Type
he'll
of deal.
He'll be back by next year or next season.
Like he'll start the season next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll be all right.
All right. So it's rough for the rest of the season, but we've been playing a game every 3 days for the last 6 months. So
Varane's also a little bit knocked up.
Yeah, he's not all the way there. So
is Harry Maguire the solution?
I was gonna say let him loose.
I don't know.
I just want to point out that. All right,
he
so
leads the league in own goals scored.
all right, hold on. Clear the paint. Clear the
In
paint.
2 starts.
Clear the paint. ISO. Clear the paint. I sat down for a haircut Friday. The first thing my barber said to me was like, "Yo, why we keep playing Harry Maguire?" That's the first thing he said to me, bro. Not how you doing. Not, he's like, "Yo, why we keep playing Harry Maguire?" I was like, "Brother, I don't know. I can't explain to you why that makes sense. This is the worst center back in the league to me, bro. Possibly of all time. And people like to point to, his international play. England don't play in the Premier League. I don't care. What does that do for me? Have you ever seen England win the Premier League?
No, not yet.
Never, not once. Not once. Bro, why is he so bad? Can you explain that to me? You played all over why is he so bad? He don't understand his position.
So if he's that bad, why is he on the England national team?
I don't know. That's what I want to know.
There's just nobody else to replace him.
Have you ever seen Harry Maguire compilations of him being trash? They're like 10 minutes long. Have you ever seen one where he pulled down his own teammate and the other team to clear the space for somebody to score?
At this point, you just have to bring Phil Jones back into the side.
Yes! Shout out to Phil. If there's one thing he's going to do is play hard. My son will put his face on the line at any time. Only player I ever seen dive with. That's not the only player I've ever seen dive with his face. I did see it in college. But he's nice at it. Like, at least I don't know. I just can't stand Harry Maguire. I genuinely believe he's one of the worst center backs I've ever seen.
So you guys need a new center back this summer?
We probably should shop around, honestly. Lissandro, love him. He's not huge. Haaland was doing him up. We need something for that. We don't have, we haven't had a strong pairing in a long time where I'm like, damn, we got 2 rocks back there. Yeah. We haven't had that in a while. And that was for me, that was our bread and butter. I genuinely.
How would you feel about a Chris Smalling return? He's been doing well in Italy these last couple seasons. Should have never let him go.
Man, I've had a love-hate relationship with Chris Smalling for a long time. I've experienced success with him in the side. I've experienced the lowest of lows in my lifetime for the club with him in the side. I don't think he's the guy that we're gonna spin the block for and change a lot. I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't spin the block.
Would you keep Woot?
Absolutely not. I think the report is we're gonna send him back to where he belongs and and not follow up on anything.
I think he's in Turkey right now. He might be playing for Beşiktaş or something.
I thought he was in Bournemouth or some shit.
Well, he played for Burnley
on
loan in Turkey.
Oh, okay. I didn't. There's a lot of. Okay.
Nobody seems to want him. Poor guy.
But
shocking.
Let me ask you guys. So
he ends up
who's your? Well, first, do you think that injury, Harry Maguire coming back in the side, or just Lisandro Martinez out of the side, do you think that affects Manchester United's top 4 race? Do you think they're still going to finish in the top 4 without him?
I genuinely don't know. We've been in horrible form. And they keep talking about, Old Trafford is a fortress again. We haven't lost in how many games? I don't care. Look at the form. You're just getting lucky you had away games. You've been playing like shit. I don't know if we finished top 4.
Gotcha. And for me, they were my Europa League favorite at this point.
At a point, they were for me too, but we scored 4 goals and tie a game 2-2. Come on, bro. 2 own goals, bro.
And it's not even like the Sevilla team that's won consecutive Europa Leagues.
You know what I'm saying?
They're having a really, really poor season.
And we're making them look not decent, good.
I still think United win the Europa League. I think they're going to pull it together, but
pull it together with what players? The players we have available, I'm not
Sevilla
ecstatic
at home
about.
The next round, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And our biggest thing for me has been the defense.
I don't know if Crash is going to be back. But, I mean, obviously United has a better squad, and Sevilla hasn't been informed, but
neither has United.
Sevilla
and the ball
has
is
a good
round.
record in Europa League, performance-wise.
So that's what they're playing for.
That's what they're playing for. I mean, that's the only way that Sevilla, the only way that they can make it to the Champions League next year and get money, which they need, is by winning Europa League.
I think we need to focus on one of them and make sure we get into the Champions League next year.
Ten Hag needs to really outsmart the opposing coach. His tactics need to be on point. Otherwise,
but can the players execute what he has like planned?
Well, I mean,
they need a 1-0 victory. That's all they need. It's knockout football. Totally different game than trying to just get points in the league.
Yeah.
They need to do whatever they can to
feel
go against a.
And Savitzer
I haven't been seeing.
put in a good performance.
Yo.
That boy, Tony did too.
He was
Nice
balling
breaks.
against
Bro, I was at work
what?
like watching the game, and then we had a meeting, so I had to like get out of it, and I'm like seeing it on my phone, like damn.
How
I know I'm
sweet
on
would
my
it be
watch.
if,
Like
Martial goes off against Sevilla.
That'd be
He
great.
didn't cut it out there on that lone stuff.
Yeah, that'd be
True.
great.
So
And
he
if
probably
I was
got-
him, I'd be
taking it personally.
disrespectful to the fans. Score a brace, and each goal gets more disrespectful with the celebration. Don't let me get a hat trick.
No, that would be.
Do not let me get a hat trick. Yeah, I was talking shit. Matter of fact, they need to play him center forward and just give him that, like, they thought you were trash. Like, he needs to sit with him and just, like, motivate him.
Yeah. I mean, Martial got the center forward start today against Nottingham Forest, so
True. And they look decent so far, but who knows?
more than likely he will get that start against Sevilla if they get the win
hopefully he
today.
stays healthy from the rest of.
That's
for
the
rest of
biggest thing with
season.
him. I don't know if I'm ready to move on yet, but you gotta
I think
give me
everything's
something
there for him to
spectacular.
be a great center forward, but
Everything's been there for him to be a great
Yeah.
center forward for the last
Has
5
Ten Hag
years.
really gotten a chance to work with him a lot this season? I feel like he's been so injury prone. I mean, his whole career has been like
Literally,
that at United. But no, I would like to see him do well because like they were, especially when he first came to the Prem, they were topping him off as like the next
Hey, yo.
Thierry Henry out there.
But
Scoring 2
I mean
goals
that
against
brace
Liverpool
in
on his
the
debut. Yeah.
debut was oh my god. I was like, we got one. He's the next guy.
Yeah, he was
And then we had
19
Rashford.
at
I
the
was
time.
like, do we have another striker
Yeah.
duo? Is this the 90s again? Are we doing this?
oh boy,
So we'll see.
And then it played out how it did.
So-
That's his life. However, speaking of United, I did see some reports that we are, gosh darn it, we're ramping up our efforts in trying to sign Jude again. I did see recording him. I did see Ten Hag was all in.
Everybody
pain
wants
in
the
his
Jude
eyes.
Bellingham sweepstakes.
this is like
Yeah, but we're actually in it.
It's tough. Yeah, Liverpool breaking. Well, not so breaking
And that
anymore.
shit ain't breaking.
But yeah, they withdrew from the.
Withdrew. Were they in it?
Bellingham. You know, maybe I'm just delusional, but I think they're still in for it because now there's a higher chance that Bellingham stays at Dortmund for another year, which makes sense.
Where are you hearing these reports from that he's going to stay another year at Dortmund?
I haven't seen that.
Is
But
from
that could be
the
from it.
Liverpool tabloids.
my sources in Liverpool.
If it doesn't come from Fabrizio, let's establish one thing. If it doesn't come from Fabrizio, it's not.
Fabrizio Romano.
That's the
I'm
only
just
guy.
saying,
I
Fabrizio
trust.
Romano. That's
See
my guy.
How it plays out.
Here we go.
Liverpool are moving on this summer though, but it's crazy, man. Like they wasted 2 full seasons, 4 transfer windows on not signing a senior midfield to have the funds available to save up to buy Jude Bellingham, and to not get it done this summer. Huge failure, but I also understand where the owners are coming from now. They really can't put all their money in one basket, in the Jude Bellingham basket this summer. They need 4 or 5 players.
Poor.
So
Yeah,
why?
you're right. You're right.
Could you explain something to me, Chris?
Yo, that sounds like a loaded ass question.
Why would
Set
Jude
them up.
why would Jude Bellingham join a side that's not even Europa League?
First of all, there are
I want to know
plenty
that.
of games left. There's like 9 games left this season.
Okay,
So they're
but
not out of it entirely.
Honestly, I was gonna ask okay, so what? Not. I was trying to find a way to say it not crazy, but like, what made Liverpool think like, okay, we're definitely like an option for him. Like this is a destination that's likely or like possible for him to come to.
Jurgen
I don't
Klopp,
see it.
baby. What do you mean?
But if I'm him, I'm Jude Bellingham. I'm looking for status too. Like it gotta match me.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham.
I'm not to leave Dortmund to go back to the
Steven
Dortmund
Gerrard
the United,
growing up. I mean,
Dortmund the
that's
Premier League.
Liverpool is such a massive club, though. They're on the same level as United. So it's like, if you're a
But it's
fan of
different.
Liverpool growing up,
Like people that don't care about soccer know who Manchester United are. People that don't care about soccer might know about Liverpool because LeBron had LeBron
Stop
6.
that. Liverpool is a
Come on.
huge
Liverpool
club,
has such a
but you have
global
to-
reach.
Going back to what Juan was saying of like the right now, it's just tough. Getting him after they just lost the Champions League final and they lost the league on the last game.
So if they got him in the summer, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
would make more sense.
That's what's so disappointing about this whole thing.
But
is
looking at it
because
right now, that's a tough time to join Liverpool.
All right, question. Do you think Liverpool can grow your star status to superstar? So can you go from star to superstar at Liverpool? Like, is that a place that's like, okay, I can definitely do it.
Mo Salah did it. Luis Suarez did it. And then Barca came calling. So, like, if he was to go from Dortmund to Madrid, what's next? He's 19, 20 years old. Are you just going to stay at Madrid the next 10 years of your career?
I mean,
if you want to be a superstar, if you want to be a superstar, have a great career, win Champions Leagues, like make money.
Kroos was on Bayern and Modric was on Tottenham. So they all went. They all went there, and then they stayed there at Madrid.
How many years has Modric been at Madrid for? He's almost like 40.
Right, no, but what I'm saying is
he got there when he was probably like 27.
No, I know, but he already had a stage in his career from 21 to 26 before he went to Madrid. That could be something that Jude does, especially being English. He's more
or you can
inclined
go,
to play
20 to 30 Madrid.
I was just going to say, if I'm him, I'm trying to pull a Varane. I go there when I'm 19. Yeah. I win Champions League leagues for 10 years, and then at 30, I
lend
can
my
decide,
services to a little
regional. I'm trying to do adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his family are his agents and advisors, so I'm sure he's going to make the right decision for him. But I would not be surprised if
that
Liverpool,
doesn't always mean that.
No, I know, but I mean, it seems like making the jump from Birmingham to Dortmund was the right move. He's got good people around him. It seems like making good decisions. So if he stays another year,
and your unbiased opinion thinks that going to Liverpool is a good decision,
I do.
Isn't that a lateral movie? Not a lateral move. But I don't know if that's like.
I think because
enough of a move at 19. I'm a star.
Klopp develops players as well. It's not like he just needs the finished product like Pep does. I mean, Pep improves players.
That's
as
a shot.
Low key, but like.
Just wanted to point it out.
But Jude and Liverpool are a good fit. It's like
objectively.
No, objectively speaking, because he fills the role that is so desperately needed, and the fans will be on his side from the jump. So it's a fit. He could take over that number 8 role and really thrive and really help his chances with England as well. So I just think it's a good move right from Dortmund. But will it be this season?
I don't think he's worried about getting chosen for England.
No, he shouldn't be. But it helps.
He will play.
The country.
That's true. You got him that.
Yeah.
If he goes to Madrid, he's gonna have to fight for every minute he gets.
So you look at Tchouaméni right now, who's actually being linked as a replacement for Jude this summer, since Liverpool are out of the case for it right now. Tchouaméni not getting any minutes in Madrid. Would you give up on him and have him? If you're a Madrid,
there's no. You're the Madrid guy. Do you think there's any chance Madrid lets Tchouaméni go this summer?
No. But if they can recoup the same amount that they paid for him, let's say like Madrid or Liverpool offer like 65, 70 mil.
I think he's the guy.
He's the future
next 10 years.
For French national team center midfield too. The thing is right now is that Madrid has Kroos and Modric, and nobody's really gonna replace them. They have too much experience to have, and especially in Champions League and in general. Kroos has extended his contract for another year, which I think that's going to be probably his last year. And Modric is probably going to be around for maybe another year or two. They're probably going to end at the same time. So they're going to need 2 midfielders at that time to replace them. So, I mean, Fede Valverde can also play on the wing, but even though now Rodrigo's been playing on the wing spot now too. Yeah. So, I mean, if there is a lot of competition right now in that midfield. But, I mean, like, it's less pressure for Jude Bellingham, in my opinion, because he comes in. Like Madrid already have like midfielders that they can ease him in, and then the next.
But he's not disrupting that team. Do you think Jude Bellingham wants to be eased into a side, or do you think he wants to make an instant impact into a team where he can with Liverpool? Like, there's no guarantee that Jude Bellingham is gonna become the player that he is at Madrid.
There's no guarantee he's going to become that player at Liverpool. He can go to Liverpool and you guys can still lose every game.
He has a higher probability because the team in the midfield is centered around him. And Jurgen Klopp has to prove that he could turn this, because he's still a raw prospect. He might be a very highly rated prospect. He's still a kid that needs to develop. So I just think Jurgen Klopp is the perfect fit for that situation.
I will give you that, where I could see if you're Jude wanting to play. And Madrid, I don't think they're the type of club that assures minutes to anyone.
No.
So that could be like the one thing I could see him thinking, you know what, maybe let me stop at Manchester United or Liverpool first.
Exactly.
Making that move.
And do Madrid really develop talents? They're doing a really good job with Vinny and Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Look at Vinicius.
More recently.
Recently.
In the past, you could have said that. 5 years ago, you could have said that. But today, Madrid is invested in youth and like taking them to the next level.
He's at left back now. Yeah. Camavinga.
Like you can't put that on Madrid's jacket anymore. Like they've developed a lot of players recently.
No, I know they're doing a very good job with the Brazilian talent that they have for sure.
And like Brandon talked about before, like I think Jude Bellingham is like one of those players that can become like a kind of like a Messi, Ronaldo, known for more than just his footballing abilities, like his maybe like fashion and stuff. And
I think he should definitely consider that.
If you want to like explore the options of income in that aspect, Madrid is the place to be.
Definitely.
Or like a big place like maybe Manchester United. You know what I'm saying? One of those two.
But not Liverpool.
It's not sexy. Liverpool's not sexy.
Stop. Liverpool's sexy.
Liverpool is sexy. It just
but if Manchester United gets Champions League football and Liverpool doesn't,
that's a statement right there.
I would probably choose them over Liverpool if I was.
Yeah. I don't think Liverpool is sexy. Maybe it's biased, but I don't think like if I was a star player, like I'd want to be a star player like at Liverpool over Madrid. Like it's Madrid.
So is Jude Bellingham the best player at Liverpool? Like, let's say they sign him in the summer. Does he instantly just become like, I'm the best player in this side right now? I don't think so. I still think he's got a lot to prove.
Midfielder in the side, I believe.
I mean that's
I don't think.
Right, so that's why they why they need him.
At this point, like Brighton's midfield is better than
Jesus Christ.
Liverpool's midfield.
Brighton's a good team. Don't be.
I mean,
don't be disrespectful.
But is never we're at the level of Liverpool.
No, of course not. Well, because Liverpool is just like an iconic giant. They have the best atmosphere in the in the world.
I mean, Anfield's is
crazy.
very hard to play at.
Yeah.
It like I think Dortmund.
But German clubs come close though with in Turkey with the flares.
So that's why
they go crazy.
Dortmund and Liverpool, they're very similar in a lot of senses. So
that's why I feel like it's a lateral move. It's just like I'm gonna feel the same here.
Brandon's dragging. He really wants
He's trying to come up his Manchester United hate so well. It's not working.
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. I stand on that. They're
going to sign some players. It would be amazing if they could sign 2 midfielders this summer. Jude Bellingham stays at Dortmund, and then they get him next season. That would be an ideal situation.
I don't know. The way I see it is like Jude's going to cost you at least 100 plus.
120.
And I think that money is better well spent on trying to get 2 or
3 people.
So that's
honestly.
That's what they made the decision to do this season. And I understand that. But the fact that they waited so long, and they knew what the price was going to be from the beginning. Like you're telling me
they know what they're doing there. Maybe they knew for a while they were going to get Jude, but you have to
that's
appease
the thing.
all the fans
reports.
Who think
but we
because
know we're not
the team's doing well, we're so rich. You know, maybe they don't have the money to spend. But
because
the fans
the owners don't operate like that. They don't put their own. They don't invest their money. They
can't go band for band with some teams, bro.
The club's money, so they're constantly surviving off of the prize money that the club earns from all of the tournaments that they play in. So if they're not in Champions League, they can't because the club owners are not going to put their own money in.
Which is crazy.
But at the same time, it's like if you put Cody Gakpo and Darwin Núñez together.
Man like
that's Jude Bellingham. Why not just keep Firmino longer? Firmino has more goals than both their forwards, and he's played like half the games. I feel like
I don't disagree with that.
That's hilarious.
But it shows signs that Liverpool are ready to move on, and their just priorities were all out of whack. I think it's a bit of arrogance from everyone involved, from the owners to Jurgen Klopp to the training staff and even to the fans. But, this is the current situation that they're in. They really thought that they were going to be able to just develop the players that they have a lot better than they were able to do so far. So it's just been a really disappointing last couple months as a Liverpool fan, for sure.
It's satisfying as a United fan.
I hear that.
if that helps at all.
But, I'm still under the impression it's just like it's a one-off. Like, it's just a tough season, and then we'll rebuild. We're gonna.
My friend and I the right mids in the summer. I don't see why Liverpool wouldn't be back in the Champions League at the very least next year.
But really now though, the expectation is titles, and are they really a title team at the moment without another 4 or 5, maybe 6 new players?
You don't need 4 or 5 new players. You need 3 new midfielders. everything.
You need a midfielder, maybe an outside back
for
Trent,
Darwin,
another center back. Joel Matip is leaving in the summer.
I think if Konate and Van Dijk are healthy together,
and they need
and
backup,
Robertson's still there, maybe some cover, but
they might not need 4, 5, 6 starters, but
I don't think they need to reinvent the wheel. You still have Darwin, Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz will be healthy. Hopefully he plays well. Jota will work his way back into form.
Hopefully.
I mean, Salah's not having the best season around, but I still think he's still
the one that they're building around still.
So
how old is
he? The main guy. He's 31 now.
Oh, 31 officially?
Mane's 31 also.
Yeah.
So it's just...
Talk about bad season, having, like, a downfall. Like, what the fuck is going on at Chelsea?
Like, I don't know, but
they're actually bad.
Yeah.
It's like crazy to say this, but like they're bad.
Yeah. We talked about it a couple pods ago, and
I see them yesterday.
I think it really
against Brighton.
Yeah, bro. It really shows that at a certain point, having good players is not enough. Team chemistry and like organization, and that's the cool part when you're on a team, and I guess you can play against teams that might be a little better than you, like player wise or whatever, but you just as a team are able to like overcome them. That's pretty cool because Chelsea, it was just too much change too quick. Too many different players, too many different managers, and there's no real like direction with them.
Mm-hmm. No,
and that'll catch up with you because the rest of the Premier League is just too good now. It's not like the gap between
a Brighton and a Chelsea
the
is
third
really
best
not
team
that
and
far.
the worst team in the Premier League is not crazy.
That's it's crazy. You know, just the amount of money that they threw at the problem without really even knowing what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But Chelsea are in a lot of trouble at the moment.
This is a very big summer for them, for their future.
But they already spent money on the players, so really they just need to
get
it's just
managerial like who do you get out,
right.
who do you bring in, like in terms of manager, and who do you like say like, all right, you're now, you know what I mean? Like they have way too many players.
You keep Sterling if you're Chelsea?
I'm biased. He's Jamaican.
You keep Pulisic?
Nope. I don't think they keep Pulisic in like general.
Where do you think Pulisic should go then?
Do you try to sign João Felix?
Ever since I saw that report,
Does
I actually been thinking about
Chelsea?
that.
That's the thing.
He's actually said, interestingly enough, his comments over the past week was kind of under the idea of, like, I know there's a lot of change, a new manager, but the dressing room has been very welcoming, and like he's basically making it seem like he still likes it there. And
probably likes living in London.
He did talk about living in London, and he could see himself continuing there.
Or how expensive it is to live there. Which one do you like?
That doesn't faze him.
I mean, when you're making millions, don't matter.
Hey.
But just sticking with the Premier League, I wanted to ask you, Juan, about Arsenal as they tied earlier today.
And they tied last week as well.
Just thinking about that title race. Currently, do you feel like Arsenal can win the title? Will win the title. Not can they. Will they win the title?
No, I think City right now, especially with the momentum they have, is like I don't see them really dropping points. And Arsenal and City have to play each other, I think in
maybe next week or the week after.
Weeks?
Yeah,
maybe. I think it's a Wednesday or midweek game, which I don't know why you would ever put Man City versus Arsenal midweek.
Well, funny enough, at the beginning of the season, we probably never thought that'd be like the title deciding game.
No, I don't think anybody did.
So I also wanted to ask you, starting this season as an Arsenal fan, what would you have called a successful season?
You just putting that on him? Are you still an Arsenal fan?
I've been an Arsenal
fan. Oh, no, I thought you were
time.
like used to being just like they cool now. I didn't want to just throw that on you.
You decided to be an Arsenal fan.
Obviously, I'm a Madrid supporter, but I've always...
That's his English.
No, it's a different league. Like, yeah.
That's my English like side, you know, so...
I hate telling people my teams, personally. It makes me seem like I'm not a soccer fan.
Yeah, because you picked the best team.
Yeah, United and Madrid. But like, I like Madrid because of Raul, and Manchester United is my mom. Like, it's real reasons, but it sounds like I started watching that shit last week.
So a successful season for Arsenal, I feel like there wasn't like very high expectations for them coming into the season. So honestly, if they don't, obviously I want them to win the league, but if they don't win the league, it's still a successful season. They're in Champions League football this summer. They can possibly bring even like better talent.
That's a big fumble though. You gotta win that for the fans.
The thing is, the last two games, they were up 2-0 both games, and they ended up tying both of the games. So it's like they always my coach always told me when I was younger that 2-0 was like the worst,
the most dangerous scoreline in soccer.
And I guess it is. I mean, Saka did miss a PK today, which could have made it even the lead even bigger, 3-0, which like that kind of seals the game. I think at 3-0 it kind of like seals it, but
it's a little demoralizing. Like you can kind of, even if they score one, you can say, like let's come on now.
They should have subbed on Jorginho, PK master, his little hop, skip, and jump.
It's effective.
Never miss.
It's effective.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed that I don't. At this point, I don't see Arsenal win the league.
Really? That's your prediction?
So Man City wins outright. So I think Man City needs to win, and every game left for them to win.
No,
that's super plausible.
Because they
play
Arsenal.
Right now, they're a game behind, right?
Yeah.
But it's a 4-point difference. It's 70. I think it's 74 to 70 points. Hold up, let me look at the standings quickly. Yeah, it's 74 points, and Arsenal has played 31 games, and then Man City has 70 points, but they played 30 games.
Right, so they have a game in hand.
Yeah. So it can if they win, Man City wins the next game, it's basically 73-74, 1 point difference.
Right, exactly.
There's still
but if
7 games.
So Arsenal needs to win. Right, so Arsenal need to win outright, and Man City need to win.
Arsenal can't lose.
Do we know where that game is? Manchester City versus Arsenal. Do you know who's hosting?
I think it's at the Etihad.
It's at City, April 26th.
Yeah, so it's on a Wednesday at 3:00.
I think that game.
At least I'm still home. I'm working from home, so I can watch it.
That's going to decide the Premier League title that day.
And I mean, Arsenal's schedule is not the most difficult after that, which could be beneficial. They still need to play
Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well,
those are all tough games.
Chelsea.
You never know what you're gonna get with Chelsea.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at that point, but at that point, Chelsea doesn't have anything to play for.
Not letting Chelsea, not letting Arsenal win.
They've had pride to play for all season and look how they play. That's the part. No, but I always wonder that, like, bro, at a point, like, we can complain about the coach, but we're all professionals. Like, let's make this happen. Like, we're all of a certain level. Like, let's say we don't respect the coach. Let's figure this out amongst ourselves. Like, all right, you're talking in practice. How are we gonna play this Sunday? Like, for real. Like, I don't. Sometimes I really don't. A lot of teams confuse me with that. Like, I'd like to see how the players interact, or like are responding to being terrible and thinking it's the coach's fault. Like, are we just following him because he's the coach, or what?
Well, it's easier to replace the coach than it is to replace 30 players. So
no, I know. And then Chelsea's players have been like, yeah, we're not gonna play well until you get him out of there. So it's happened, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Manchester City's rest of the schedule, it's definitely easier than Arsenal's.
And they have
to play Arsenal. They have to play Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Chelsea, and Brentford.
So realistically, they should win every game.
And they have a record-breaking forward right now. 45 goals in all competitions. That's the most for a Premier League player ever. If I'm not mistaken.
I really think it's Man City's title to win versus Arsenal's title to lose.
I think it's theirs to lose, and they're losing it.
I mean, are they really gonna win every game though?
City
or Arsenal?
It's plausible.
City.
It's not like crazy to think that they win all those games.
They did it to Liverpool.
I don't think so.
I think you don't think so.
Nah, I think they're gonna drop points at some point, especially if they keep going further and further in the Champions League. I think they're gonna slip up.
So you think they should prioritize the Champions League then?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I think they've won enough leagues over the last couple of years. The Champions League is that's the trophy they want.
So I guess that's Arsenal's best chance then for Man City to go to the final and really.
Yep. I'm reading something about it right now. If City wins the last 8, they win the league. If they get to 95 points, At that point, Arsenal can only get to 92. They win by a game.
Yeah, because City has to play Arsenal, so.
That's interesting.
So
it's going to be intense.
I just wanted to bring up, because the way I see it with Arsenal is, before the season, Champions League was like the goal. So how do you define success if you're not a good team? Because obviously only one team can win the Premier League. So for for a lot of clubs, what do you think is their
staying in the top flight?
Staying in the top for
So if you recently got promoted to the Prem, it's just staying in the Prem.
Honestly, I think it's coming to the point where it's not even newly promoted teams. I think it's teams that are hovering in like 12th to 15th place. Like if you're staying in your lane in that side of the table, that's a successful season for you.
I don't know. For me, if I'm
not for Liverpool though. That's not a successful season for Liverpool.
Of course
or
not.
Chelsea.
If I'm one of those teams, like I'd at least like to say, like, yeah, we're staying, but like we're trying to advance a position every year. So like we finished 15th,
right.
let's finish 14th.
You want to see progress, ideally. Like that's a perfect situation where you start, like you just get promoted, you finish 17th, 16th, and you just work your way up the table. But realistically, just they're going into the season. It's got to be. We need to stay up. We got to make sure that
I think
we're
we
playing
can make
Premier
our
League
goal
football
to
next
be
year.
better than our crop of like who's on our level. So like in our 11 to 17 or whatever, like I think our goal can also be to like try to progressively get better than these teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Build to go from 17th to 15th to 11th.
We could do like case studies on those type of clubs that break into the European position. They try to keep up with that, like we were talking about last week, but then fall back and even worse, end up getting relegated.
I wouldn't worry about Europe if I'm one of those teams. Europe would be a byproduct of like the main goal. And I wouldn't be too focused on that still if I don't think we're prepared for it or ready for it. Like, yeah, we're playing it, but I'm not focused on this.
So you wouldn't like expand your squad to try to mitigate the increase in games now so it gets evenly spread out so there's less injuries?
I might do that to reduce injuries, but I still think my main goal would be like advancing in the Prem. Because like if I can get from 17th to 10th, I can attract different type of players. Then we can start. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd like to build a graduate. This is all ideally in a perfect world, but like I think that should be the goal, not just like, hey, we in the league
we're
still.
Here,
You know, I don't love that as a fan, especially.
Oh, of course, but like objectively speaking, that's what their goal should be. Because if you get relegated from the Premier League,
I mean, it is one of the most
for like financial ruins.
Yeah, it is one of the most competitive leagues in the world.
Yeah. So,
but I think my fault, not to cut you off. Being competitive keeps you competitive. Like having those kind of standards kind of pushes that.
Yeah, so have you ever played for a team that you didn't expect to win the league? Like you weren't
favorites? Yeah,
or just, I guess,
no.
Part of your season would be like beating the big team. That would be like an accomplishment.
We've always had rivalries, like this team is as good as us, but it's never been like, oh man, we gotta beat this team. That was us. Like we won a lot, and then the team I moved to had like a history of winning that league, and then the showcase team I moved to were winning up and down, score at the shore and all that shit.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just interested because I definitely at one point played for a team that was like, we're not gonna win the league. Like there was no way we will win this league, and beating certain teams was really like kind of like the notches on our belt that would make like it was a good season because we beat the team that's like might win the national tournament. You know,
I might be delusional in a sense too though, because like in high school we after my sophomore year, the new crop coming in weren't great. You got like 2 or 3 from that class that are decent, so you start to expect less. But like having success early, I was like, we can get back there. I've been there. Like I know how to get there. So I could drag them along.
With your mentality and personality, you think we can win, but like looking back on things,
and then I was captain, so I'm like, it's on me, and I know I could win. Like I know I've been there. Like
but
we
looking
can get
back
there.
on things, do you
and
think
I have teammates that were there with me that
was good enough
know how
to
get
actually
no. Not even a little bit. And then like I used to get so angry like playing or like literally like I regret it now, but like not even fuck that shit. It was in the heat of competition, but like there's times where like I would like, coach, take him off and put him on, like because you're not doing what I need from you, and it's killing me because like I know what needs to happen and you are not capable of it, and that like how do you not see that? Like I don't care that he needs playing time. Get him out of here. Like he's marginally better, but he can do what I need him to do because he listens and he tries. He's just roaming on the field. Like that used to piss me off. Like I get like very angry when like
grass, right?
Yeah, like if you give me everything you have and you're not a great player, I could work with that.
Yeah.
So
but if you're not great and you're not giving me effort, like that shit will like drive me crazy.
How did you feel playing for a team where I guess the goal was almost to like not finish last, if we're coming clean?
I mean, I played for a team that the goal was to not lose 3-0, so every game. So,
it was a 1-0 today. We went crazy. Listen.
We did well.
Locked.
It's kind of like, yo,
that bus. Hello.
Honestly, we lost the game 3-1 one time, and I viewed it as a win. I was like, yo, we played mad well. Like,
I'm not
we
gonna lie,
lost,
my
but like
stomach hurt.
but like it was, I think it was like I forget who we were playing. I think it was like Gachi or something like that.
Oof, that's a tough game though. That was always a good
no
game.
Because, and like honestly, like we played mad well, but we lost like 2-3-1. But like I was like, yo, that felt good. You know what I'm saying? Like we played well.
I don't know. It's hard for me to be like they were better than us. So this performance was
the thing
cool
is, like, we just got
of
unlucky. There's just certain things that happened that we got
okay,
unlucky.
well,
Like,
it just
we
wasn't our
easy,
day.
Yeah. It could have easily been 3-1 hours like for us, but like, I ended up
like you have those games where you just hit the post 4 times and you're just like, bro. It's like I play center back, so like I'm always like, it's coming, bitch, it's coming. But in the back of my, I'm like, we can't buy a goal. I gotta keep them going, but I'm just like, look.
I know you're like a great competitor and you love to win, but I'm sure you had some losses that you weren't exactly ashamed of, right? Where it's like, you know, we kind of left everything out there, and
yeah, but those are the ones where I've cried. To be candid, like. Cause it's like, God, I did everything I could possibly do, and we lost. That hurts. Like it's almost kind of better to be like, I didn't try hard enough. It's on me.
I think
like,
I ran out of tears that year. I said I didn't have any tears left that year.
It's just hard. Like I remember we lost the State Cup final, and I had the flu and I couldn't play, and I'm just watching. Oh shit. I'm watching the game, and the whole time I'm just like, bro, that wouldn't happen if I could have played. That's my fault. Like, that was my, like, oh my, that shit still bothers me. Like, we really lost that shit. And I was ready to play. I was like, Coach, I'll play. He's like, you have the literal flu. Like, you cannot really move like that. And it's raining right now. I didn't know why you're at the game. I'm like, you making a lot of caveats. I could play. But that one hurt. Because we could have won that. And it was a team we've beat before. It was like one of those where you're like, is there a big team for the thing? It wasn't a big, like, it was a big game because this was the 2 best teams in the league. And on any given occasion, it could go either way. It was us and FC United. So, like, it was healthy competition. Like, we're cool with, like, some of those players. Like, after soccer ended and everything. Like, it was just like, damn, like, there's a lot of mutual respect there. But, like, that game we lost, is just, that shit hurt. Yeah. And there's nothing you could do about it. You're just on the sideline like, God, bro, like. I got a fever, and I already feel like shit, and we're losing. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah. So talking about, like, successful seasons, like, if the current Premier League standings stay the way they are right now, I'd like to go through, like, every single team, and I want to hear your perspective on, like, if you think it's a successful season.
Newcastle had an amazing season.
Wait till we get there, Brandon.
They got to be first. I'm sorry.
We're going to start from the bottom. Let's not start from the top today.
All right, Drake, start from the bottom, baby.
All right, so Southampton. If Southampton gets relegated, what would you do? You think that's a successful season though?
If they get relegated?
No.
I mean, I'm asking you guys.
No, then no. Just subjectively.
Okay. I mean, they've been in the Premier League a long time, but now they're done. It's time for them to go down.
All right, Leicester City. I mean, I think if anybody gets relegated, that's not a successful season.
I agree, especially for Leicester, who's been pretty relevant in recent times.
Yeah. Nottingham Forest, who just got promoted.
They have no expectations.
I mean, I mean, like we said, if you get in, you should want to stay. So I would count it as an unsuccessful season. We got in, we should want to stay here.
Okay. Everton.
Unsuccessful. Yeah. For who you are, this is atrocious.
Nah, Everton getting relegated is a disaster.
No, not even getting relegated. Finishing where they at now.
Finishing where
is still atrocious. Who you are, what you had, that's crazy.
Starting the season, no, but the way they're going, just staying up is.
I don't believe in. I was gonna lie. I was just gonna say I don't believe in tweaking expectations, but I absolutely believe in tweaking expectations. Because if you're above what we said at the start, we need to set high expectations. Because that complacency shit is not it. So, like, Arsenal, not winning is excuse me, I jumped ahead. That's my fault.
No, yeah.
It was an example though. Continue.
Leeds. Right now, 16th place.
Fuck Jabo.
Do you think that's a successful season?
Success.
Yeah, no, that's a decent season.
Success.
That's a decent season.
Yeah.
West Ham.
15th
place.
Unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful, right? I agree.
I guess pretty mediocre season.
Mediocre. You can say mediocre. There's an in between.
Nah, West Ham made like
unsuccessful.
West Ham has made like tried to make that jump. They made their big signings.
Yeah.
Got Scamacca for like $50 million. Italian national team center forward currently like
I can
they
view.
tried to make that jump to push them into Europa.
Okay, so for
League.
what you intended and for money spent, I'd also go unsuccessful then.
Yeah. Bournemouth, 14th place.
Successful,
Definitely,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolves, 13th place. I would say somewhere in the.
I'd go mediocre because like you're
right. 10th place.
Yeah,
so I would say
I would want to be in the top half.
You're starting to crest a little bit. You're right under. I'd go mediocre. Like we need to be higher than this next year, but I'm not super upset at where we are for who we are.
What do you think, Val?
But Wolves, they're being in the top half is good. They
It is
again, like they're one of the teams where they're trying to push for that European spots, but it's not easy. So just to be in that conversation is a successful season.
Okay, Crystal Palace, 12th place.
I think that's a good season for them.
Yeah, I would say
12.
so. Chelsea.
Positioning. It's just a shit season overall. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Very unsuccessful.
Fulham.
Successful.
Yeah. Wow.
Sure.
Good season so far.
Brentford.
Good season.
Successful.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful.
We could skip that.
Brighton.
Successful.
Successful.
Best season in their history, I think.
Yeah.
Aston Villa. Definitely successful.
Successful. Shout out to
Tottenham.
No.
Unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful season.
Unsuccessful.
I'd go mediocre because I don't expect greatness or shit from them. I
want
expect
them at
like
least in the Champions
middle
League,
of the table, middle of the just middle. They're mid to me.
Yeah. Newcastle.
Good season.
Successful. Yes, very
United. I'd say good season.
Good season.
Wait, are they currently in third?
Yeah.
Let me
Successful.
not remove recency.
Definitely
Let me
good season.
remove recency bias. It was a good season.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If they
City,
finish third.
If they finish in second, is that a good season for them?
Yeah, hell yeah, because that means they won
See how
Champions
It
League.
depends what they do in the
Champions
Champions
That
League.
means they won that shit.
Arsenal, obviously.
If they don't win, that is a bad season for me. Because like I said, I believe in raising expectations. So we've been playing to the point where we should have won this. So fumbling it at the end is a bad season.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it finishes.
But let's take things over to America really quickly. Our own hometown team, New York Red Bulls. They just signed a new player. You want to?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm a season ticket holder of the Red Bulls. I try to go to every game.
Allegedly,
you
don't go looking for him.
Yeah. Me and my brother.
You don't know where he be at.
Yeah.
Just volunteer saying information on the internet.
No,
Section C, row B.
I like supporting because I want the MLS to grow. I like supporting the local game.
And it has
Well, no, shout out
grown
to
over
you,
the years,
yeah.
right?
But like a lot of people just say,
Definitely
"I
has.
want it to grow." You spending your money.
Try to actually be part of the
respect
change,
that.
but
I do.
yeah,
not.
they just signed a very expensive striker from the Belgian national team who has about 43 goals and 75 appearances. So he's a natural goal scorer, proven goal scorer.
I'll score more goals.
And that's the one thing that Red Bulls have been lacking for years now is goals.
Since Bradley Wright Phillips.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Wright Phillips brothers.
Yeah, he was the last good goal scorer the Red Bulls had. But this he's 24 years old, so he's a young guy, and he comes to the team. He scores on his second game, so his first start
Was trash.
Well, not that he was trash. Well, yeah, kind of is trash actually, because he allegedly, it's not known what has been said yet, but he used some racial connotation during the match. Now, there's no information yet as if he was pointed at a player or he was just using racial slurs during the game.
But what are the streets saying?
Well, they paused the game for 20 minutes during the match, and I was there, so
really?
And there was no information, so that we all were just watching everybody standing on the field, talking to everybody, trying to speculate what's going on. So then when we heard that it was racial allegations, it was investigated. But the player admitted that he said something wrong We don't know what was said or not, but yeah, he admitted fault, came out with an apology, and he was suspended for 6 games from the league, which it's pretty soft if you ask me. A 6-game suspension, and the fans are
soft,
actually
like too much or too little.
No, too little. I think it
For
should have been
being
longer.
racist?
Allegedly, though.
Alleged
until
racial allegations that apparently were not geared towards any player, but were said in a context where it was probably taken the wrong way. So he
said it to a referee, apparently, right?
Allegedly, right. He allegedly was talking to a referee who is not a person of color. So it's like, it's just a messy situation that so could have been avoided. So now, like, he's the Red Bulls' most expensive player in their club history. It cost them like $7 million to get him.
Right.
And he's scores goals. So now they're in this situation where the fans are calling for the player to get kicked out of the league. The fans actually walked out of the match last night, and it was pretty crazy. Like, the second it started, all like the whole atmosphere in the stadium just left. So like they're trying to make a statement.
Wait, so people showed up just to leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the season ticket holders.
Wait,
like
did that player get suspended?
Yeah,
Wait,
by the league.
Did you leave?
No, I didn't. Somebody had to support that. I supported the players that were not using racial words. So, but it's just it's crazy because now like the fans are calling for the player to never play again for the league, which you gotta look at it. The Red Bulls
this might be why soccer in America is never gonna be as big as it is.
Because if that happened in
all the best players are racist.
If that happened in England, that would be like
that happened in England. That's a Sunday.
That's
like, yeah, you playing the Prem. Sorry, dog. We're gonna put on a "Say No to Racism" band next week and call it a day.
Exactly. So that's what the fans are saying. The league kind of did. So like it's.
I'm trying to see what he said.
Right. That's the whole
all
thing.
these major publications just saying like, oh, he
said something. No,
like,
so that was my whole point. Where like I might have been in the minority, but I was just like, I don't want to just throw this guy under the bus and kick him out of the league, say he doesn't deserve to ever play again, without even like knowing what he said. But
I mean, he does play in New York. You got to know your audience.
Of course. So what? And he's Belgium. So what I
super-
was thinking that maybe what was said was just lost in translation. Again, like he admitted
I
some.
never searched his name on Twitter.
He admitted guilt.
What'd you find, V?
I can't say it on the podcast.
Yeah,
It's not what he said. It's just somebody like alluding to. It's like a joke. Read that. I'll pass it around.
Go ahead, Chris.
No,
go ahead.
I'm just saying, like he said some shit. He admitted that he was wrong, but I don't think that this player should never be allowed to step foot on any field in the league again.
Yeah, I think that's a little.
It's just people are getting very overreactive over.
It's
something
the time
that,
and age we're in, though, and you're in New York. It's not.
Yeah,
it's a
so
pretty
it's
liberal
not
place.
like what he said.
you gotta
Like
know where
he
you are.
obviously should not have said what was said.
But that just sucks as a Red Bulls fan.
Exactly.
Like I love this guy.
We were like
and
the
then
original
he's
New York
racist.
sports team, and then we have
Yes.
NYCFC come in. They win like 1 or 2 championships before we
you
do.
can't even get
City.
And now all the like good players, they would rather play for NYCFC than
But then
when
the
they come to
Red
New
Bulls
York
finally do get a player that wanted to be
and is young, like hasn't even entered
left
their prime.
Europe to come play in the MLS, and it turns out to
23,
have
24, yeah.
But
lot
you
of
know,
issues
I
with
would
him.
I wouldn't be like shocked if he was racist. If I was like the owner, like, oh, he came from Belgium, he racist. Wow.
So that's literally like that's the standpoint the coach
What?
took. So the players
He
are like
racist?
the fans
Have
want
you
the
ever heard of King
coach out.
Leopold?
The coach
Because the coach
was
is
just
like, oh, I'm not shocked that he's racist,
no,
right?
the coach was pretty much like
I know who I bought.
He made a statement.
Fuck. I'm just sorry he said that dumb shit on the field, but
Yeah.
we know who
so
he is.
people were mad that the coach didn't sub the player out right away. He played for like an extra 20 minutes, and the coach was kind of just like, I was working under the information that I
First
had.
time I met him, he said some racist shit.
Yeah. So it's a tough situation. You know, I don't think the player should be disbarred from the league. I think he needs to be open about his recovery and like.
But what is recovery?
Exactly.
You're a grown ass
Right.
man. If
No,
you're
I know.
racist, you're
So
racist.
he needs
If we're
to
gonna
take-
keep you, don't be racist on the
And
field.
also
Keep that shit at
saying
home.
some racist
If
shit,
we're gonna
I
get
don't
rid of
know
you,
if
get
that
rid of you.
exactly makes you racist.
Racist.
Well, it
I think
depends on
he-
what he said. There was a
Exactly.
black forward that was like, yo, he said some shit I wasn't cool with. Maybe he said some crazy shit.
So I just think the whole situation was blown way out of proportion.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's
not
just
trying
I
to
can't say it was or wasn't until I know exactly what
I
he
feel
said.
like
I've been on the field. I know certain people,
Yeah.
their tactics are like they'll say anything to get in your head. So they know if like they say that, if it gets in your head.
Somebody
you'll be
said
out
some
the
racist
game.
shit to me before. I slapped him in the face. I got a yellow card for it, but you're not about to just say that. That's
yeah, but
like, what?
Just because somebody says it to you, because like obviously in the heat of the game, you know what I'm saying? Like people get angry and they just say stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Does that really mean that they're actually racist, even though they've said some racist
I'm not
shit?
trying
I don't know.
It's okay, or
for some people, it
like,
could be like maybe you said that. For some people, maybe it's just like, listen, it's not give it up.
And
I just,
but like
the
situation all started because the ref gave the player a yellow card when it should have been a red card. So the opposing player on San Jose kicked the Red Bull player in the chest. Gave him a yellow card. And he gave him a yellow card. So
we need new referees.
That's what started the whole thing. It just so could have been avoided. I'm not like saying the player is, not in the wrong. He obviously fucked up. He needs to accept the consequences of his actions. But he deserves redemption. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. Punishment for racist shit is hard. Because it's like, if you're racist, we're not about to change you with any type of ban or any type of therapy. If you're not racist, you might got to do some digging. Because why you say that shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why was that what you drew for off rip, just muscle memory? Like, that's crazy.
And where did Red Bulls get like $7 million to play for this player?
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
Money laundering going on over there.
You might get us shut down. Man. You gotta relax.
Fans have been asking for.
We do live in New York State.
Some sort of like emphasis on developing this team because this team has not been going places for the last 4 or 5
seasons. They brought in a European
seasons.
racist. That's how you get good soccer.
They brought in a European who turned out to use racial verbiages during a game. So do with that information.
Either way.
He probably said, I do that all the time in Belgium.
Yeah,
I never got in trouble for this a year ago.
What do you say? It's like when Luis Suarez was like, I said something wrong.
And Liverpool wore Luis Suarez shirts, bro.
That was bad.
That was so bad.
I mean, it was Liverpool, England, where they're shocked.
I want to know like what exactly he said.
I don't think it's ever going to come out, but he admitted that he said something wrong. So he said something that rubbed people the wrong way. But I'm not here for all this
I think it's just
outrage
like,
that
I say
is
that shit
not
all
even
the time,
warranted. Like, if the players aren't outraged over it anymore, the fans have no reason to spend their money and walk out of the stadium.
You can't tell people how to react.
But that was Autism Awareness Night. So it was just I thought it was just bad on everyone.
Yeah, he didn't pick the best night to be racist. It should have just been like,
you can't be racist when the autistic kids is here.
The next game where the fans walked out on, that was Autism Awareness.
Wait, what happened?
It was the next game.
Oh, the next game they walked out.
I mean, hey, he chose to be racist the wrong previous game. I don't know what to
It
tell you.
was such a very awful.
I'm sure he's looking at the
We're not
calendar
gonna be
like,
like, yo, we don't support you, but it's autism night. You walking out next game though. You can't do that.
Yeah, he was at the
They
counter.
didn't even announce
We
the
can't
coach's
do-
name.
And
yet.
the next game is for the orphans. We can't do that to the orphans.
anybody's interested
the game
in some
after
drama.
that is for homeless. We can't do that.
Yeah, the Red Bulls are full of drama this year. So
Hey, maybe that's how you get your name out there as a team. Thank you for joining us for another Over the Top podcast. If you're still watching, like I say every week, I appreciate that. You can be anywhere in the world, but you spent an hour and a half and change with us. We really appreciate it. I've been Brandon.
I've been Val.
and I've been Nick.
And that's the Over the Top podcast. Thank you, baby.
You the best.